Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So this week I spent a couple of hours playing through a game called Copycat. And this is a game where you play as an adult cat with a bit of a traumatic history who is adopted by an elderly lady who has some struggles of her own. And this is a fairly short narrative adventure. And I'm going to be honest here, this is probably one of the more difficult games I've ever tried to review. And that's because I still don't know what the developers were trying to say here. This game is infuriating at times with its contradictory messages. And since this is a game that relies so heavily on those narrative choices, it makes it really hard for me to recommend this game. Which is a shame because there is a lot to like here too. So before I get into the more controversial aspects of this game, let me just say it is a beautiful looking game. It has a unique art style. The cat is really well animated. You can tell this is a game that was made by people who love cats. And I like the fact that you are put in the point of view of the cat. The cat's thoughts pop up on screen. And there's also these wonderful dream sequences where the cat imagines itself as a wildcat living on the savannah, and it's all narrated like a nature documentary.
The average territory for a female wildcat is around 15 square kilometers.
The gameplay is rather linear. You're mainly moving around certain small areas with the WASD keys and the spacebar to jump. There is a dedicated meow button. And there are a few quick-time events that you have to complete, as well as an endless runner section. But this is not a game that really is about gameplay. It is about the story. And it has a lot to say about how people treat animals. And it deals with issues of abandonment and trauma, and probably will make a lot of people rather misty-eyed as you play through it. But that leads us to the big problem with the game. And to talk about it, we're going to have to get into some spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything more about the game story, I'm going to take a few seconds here, pause, and you can stop watching the video. Still here? Well, the big problem with this game are the human characters, who make terrible choices because they are in effect horrible people. You are adopted by Olive, who has lost her previous cat, who you look exactly like. We soon learn that the previous cat was in fact thrown out of the house by Olive's daughter. But when that cat shows up again, she is accidentally brought inside the house while you are accidentally left outside. And things get progressively worse. Eventually, when Olive realizes the mistake, and that she can't have two cats, what does she decide to do? Bring you back to the shelter? No! She drives you out into the wilderness and abandons you. And after you fight your way through the rest of the game, we get a happy ending. Except, I would really question whether we should call this a happy ending. Because the game's themes of love, forgiveness, and home being where you are needed most, well, they're a really nice idea. But some actions really are unforgivable, and returning to an abusive situation is not strong or brave. It's actually unhealthy. And while I don't think the game is an allegory for domestic abuse, it did show a lack of awareness on the part of the developers. And so this is the reason why I can't really recommend Copycat to you. I don't think it's a bad game, but I'm really not comfortable with the message it's delivering. And that's going to do it for our review of Copycat. If you are enjoying reviews on the channel, hit that like button to let us know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It helps us to grow the channel, and you never miss an episode of content. We'll be back soon with more videos for you. Thanks for watching.